So we are going to be making some prints today using fruits and vegetables. Our first fruit that we have to use is an apple. Now I cut this apple in half the wrong way for eating, but when you do that, you find a secret star inside each apple. This one has a little bit of a bruise on it, but that's okay, I can still use it. So the other thing that I did is I cut some slots here on the side so I have a little handle, so it's easier to hold. You don't have to do this, but if it works good for you, that's great. I also have a sweet potato that I cut up into slices. I'm trying to make a handle on this one, but that was a little trickier for me. Work better if I use the end of the sweet potato. So I'm going to show you how I did this side over here. So all I did is I cut a little bit into my sweet potato, not all the way through, and then I turned it and I cut the other way. You might want to ask an adult to help you with this part, because you'll need a pretty sharp knife. But if you're using something smaller or a fruit that's softer, like an apple or a grape even, you could probably do it by yourself. So now I have a little handle for my sweet potato, and I can make a stamp that I'm going to dip in my paint. I can also use very small cookie cutters, and if I put the cookie cutters, I want to use this butterfly one. If I put the cookie cutters, checking to make sure the sharp side is down, I can use a hammer, this is fun, and I'm actually going to just hammer the butterfly cookie cutter right through the sweet potato. Watch out for your fingers. Then I'm going to pick it up and check the back. There I have it. Now this is kind of fun because I actually made two different things that I can print with. I can print with this side, which would be the negative shape, and I can also pop this out of the cookie cutter and use the positive shape. I have a positive and a negative. Okay? So there's lots of fun things that I can do when I make prints. Now it's going to be hard for me to print this, so I might want to think about putting like a tack, or even using a clothespin to pinch it so I don't get paint all over my fingers. Now I have red and yellow paint today, and I'm going to put a little bit of red on my plate first, and I'm going to save the yellow for later. Now I'm going to first do an apple print, I think, because I really like how that star looks. So I'm going to take my paint on my paper here, and I'm just going to dip my apple in it, and I'm kind of tapping as I go around the plate. Tap, 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 tap. And I'm making sure that my whole apple is covered, except I don't want it inside the star. So I think what I have looks good. One more tap just to be safe. And I'm going to take my paper, holding tight so I don't drop it, and I'm going to print. Now that one didn't work out perfectly. If I want to, I can try again, pressing on the sides that didn't work so well. And I can peel it up again, and I have a pretty good apple. Now I can also try to print this again without getting more paint on it and see if it works. I'm going to try pushing on those edges because I missed those last time. Pressing down and lifting up. And I still have a pretty good apple there. I can do this again and again, but if I want to change the color, all I need to do is add a bit of yellow and see what I can make. Maybe I'll try my sweet potato stamp. And maybe I want to actually cut some shapes into my sweet potato stamp. I'm going to take out some of the pieces. I'm using a sweet potato because the extra pieces that I have left over I can use to make some sweet potato french fries, which are really yummy. Okay, so I just cut out some little triangles there. I was kind of hoping it might look a little bit like a pumpkin. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of mix my yellow and my red paints together, because if I want to make a pumpkin, I need, what color, Violet?
Orange.
Orange. Now this orange is looking still pretty red, so I'm going to add a little bit more yellow and see if I can get it a lighter orange. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, I like my orange color that I have now, so I'm going to try to do a print.
Can I do a print?
Sure. Pinch it tight. Go ahead and press down. press on the edges too. Make sure the whole thing is touching. Okay, lift it on up. Hold it. There's a little pumpkin. Do you want to try it again? There you go. Press on those edges. Good. Nice. Little pumpkins. So we can cut out all different things.
Ooh,
And I'm going to
can I
try
this one?
Sure, the negative shape of the butterfly, and I'm going to try the positive shape of the butterfly. Negative is like the outline, and positive is what the shape actually is looking like. There's my little butterfly. That one kind of wiggled on me. I guess it's not too bad to pinch with your fingers on that. Okay, you want to try the negative one? Is that in your way? I like how she's checking to make sure that the whole thing is covered. There you go. There's some space up here if you want. Oh, you were going to try to fill it in? There you go. Nice. Can you try one up here so they can see what it looks like without it covered? There. Can we try one more up at the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
You kind of liked it that I joined your video.
I do like it that you joined my video. There you go. I can also, since I have these cookie cutters out, I can also experiment and see if I can make some shapes with the cookie cutters.
I want to try with these.
Okay, do you think it'll work?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Ooh, that's kind of fun. So there's all different ways that we can experiment with making prints using things that we have just laying around the house. Have a good time, and I can't wait to see what you make.